GCSE Maths Help. Today we're going to be looking at simultaneous equations and the key points you need to know for your exam. Let's get started. Simultaneous equations are two equations that can be solved at the same time to find the same number for the variable x or y so that both equations are true. These equations can be linear, like 2x plus 3 equals y, or y plus x equals 5, or they can involve x squared and y squared. The best way to solve simultaneous equations is to rearrange the equations so you only have one variable to worry about at a time. Depending on which x values the equation includes, whether it's x or x squared, decides how we solve these equations. For example, these simultaneous equations here are 3x minus y equals 18 and x plus y equals 10. We can solve these equations by rearranging them so that y is on its own on one side of the equation with x and the numbers on the other side. So we're going to do that for both of these equations. So let's start with the first one. I'm going to add y to both sides to give us 3x equals 18 plus y. And I'm going to minus 18 from both sides to give us 3x minus 18 is equal to y. So we've rearranged it to make y the subject to the formula. Let's do the same for the other equation. So I'm going to minus x from both sides to give us y equals 10 minus x. So now we've rearranged both our formulas, we can see that 3x minus 18 is equal to y, and 10 minus x is also equal to y. So we can say that 3x minus 18 is equal to 10 minus x. So now we've only got one variable to worry about. We've got numbers as well. So this is an equation that we can solve. So I'm going to add x to both sides to give us 4x minus 18 equals 10. And I'm going to add 18 to both sides to give us 4x is equal to 28. Divide both sides by 4 to give us x equals 7. So now we have a value for x, we can go about finding a value for y. So if we go back to one of our first equations, we've got x plus y is equal to 10. We know that x equals 7 plus y is equal to 10, so y must equal 3. Now the beauty of simultaneous equations is that there are two equations that you can use to check your answer. So let's put our x and y values into the other equation to see if they're right. So we've got 3 times 7 minus 3 is equal to 18. So we've got 21 minus 3 is equal to 18, which is right. So we know that we've got the right values for x and for y. Let's move on now to solving quadratic simultaneous equations, as we will approach these ones slightly differently. So these are our quadratic simultaneous equations. We've got x squared plus y squared equals 10 and y minus x equals 2. Now with quadratic equations there's a little bit more work to be done to solve these ones, but we're going to start like we did with the linear equation. We're going to arrange the second equation so that y is on one side with the x and the numbers on the other side. So I'm going to add x to both sides to give us y equals x plus 2. Now, trying to rearrange the quadratic equation so that y is on its own is going to get a little bit messy because it's squared. So what we're going to do is substitute the y value here with what we've just found out to equal y. So I'm going to rewrite this as x squared plus x plus 2 in brackets, but we need to look at what happened to y originally in this equation. It was squared, so we need to make sure that our y substitute is squared as well, is equal to 10. So now I can start expanding that out. So we've got x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4 is equal to 10. So let's tidy that up a little bit. We've got 2x squared plus 4x and then plus 4 but minus 10 from the other side, minus 6 is equal to 0. So now we've only got one variable and we've got a quadratic equation that we can solve now. So I'm going to start by dividing everything by 2 to give us x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So if you need help solving quadratic equations by factorisation, there's a whole other video on that on my YouTube page. I'm going to go through this one quite quickly because we're looking at simultaneous equations in this video. So we're looking for two numbers that times together to make -3 and add together to make 2. So we're looking at 3 and -1. So in one bracket we've got x plus 3, the other bracket we've got x minus 1 is equal to 0. So if this bracket equals 0, x is equal to -3. If this bracket is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. Now it's really tempting at this point to stop there, but we still need to find values for y. So if we go back to one of our original equations, we've got y minus x is equal to 2. So if x equals -3, we've got y minus -3 is equal to 2. So y equals -1. And if x equals 1, we've got y minus 1 is equal to 2. So y equals 3. So we need to write our answer as two pairs. So if x is equal to -3, then y is equal to -1. If x is equal to 1, then y is equal to 3. The other way you might be asked to solve simultaneous equations is by using a graph. This can be done for both linear equations and for quadratic ones. If we want to solve these two equations, we are looking for the points on the graph when the x value and the y values are the same for both lines, which is going to be where the lines cross. So for linear equations, they're just two straight lines, so they're only going to cross once, giving us one value for x and one value for y. But for quadratic equations, where one line's a curve and one line's a straight line, they're going to cross in two places, which is going to give us two values for x and two values for y, just like usual when we solve quadratic equations. As always, you can take the values that you get from the graph and put them back into either equation to check that you've got them correct. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to have some practice at answering exam-style questions on this topic, click the link in the bio below. Don't forget to subscribe to GCSE Maths Help with the subscribe button below, or you can check out my Instagram page at GCSE Maths Help for more videos and tips. Thanks for watching.